Isaac Singer has just made improvements on Howie's sewing machine. We'll bring him in and see what this will do for us. Hello, Isaac Singer. Tell us about the improvements on the sewing machine and how it will change life at home.
It will help the production and repair of clothing become much easier. It will be much more convenient for the customer.
Do you think this product will be very productive?
Yes, I do.
Why?
Well, like Cyrus McCormick, I will allow the customers of my product buy the sewing machine on credit and provide service.
Well, thank you for coming today, Isaac. Now we are going to move on to life as a slave.
Thanks for having me on the show. See you later.
Bye.
Hello and welcome to BLP News. Today we will be interviewing a slave from Pickery Farms. But first, I must send you guys to Janet at Pickery Farms.
Thanks, Bob. As you all know, we're at the Pickery Farm with one of their slaves. This is Jerome. Well, Jerome, how is your life?
I live on a large plantation where I work on a field all day. I am always being supervised by my owner all day.
Can you tell us about how you work?
Well, I pick cotton out of the field all day. Sometimes I am assigned different jobs around the farm.
Tell us about your living conditions.
I have poor living conditions. My owner gave me a dirt floor cabin with little to no furniture and leaky roofs. My clothing is torn and worn out, but I try to stay positive.
How can you stay positive?
Even though I am punished and tortured, I find comfort in my community and culture.
What do you do?
They make time for me and everyone else to have social activity. I enjoy the little time with my family by sharing folk tales and spirituals with the rest of my family.
What are the things you cherish the most?
My family and religion. Everything we do relates to our religion, Christianity.
Can you tell me about your daily schedule?
At 3 a.m., we get up and take care of all the animals. At 6 a.m., we give grace by saying prayers. At 7 a.m., we start work. At 12 p.m., we eat lunch. At 1 p.m., we return back to work. At 7 p.m., we eat our dinner. Then at 8 p.m., we all return to work. By 11 p.m., all lights must be out.
By saying we, do you mean everyone?
Yes, we all stay on the same schedule. There are no shifts.
Can you tell me about your education?
We do not know how to read or write. It is against the law to know how. We learn by talking and different spirituals we have.
Wow, sounds like life as a slave would be very difficult. Thank you, Jerome, for your time.
Senator William Seward of New York defended anti-slavery, but John C. Calhoun of South Carolina disagreed. The Compromise of 1850 made California able to enter the Union as a free state. The rest of the Mexican cession was divided into two territories, Utah and New Mexico, where the question of whether to allow slavery would be decided by popular sovereignty.
Webster criticized most abolitionists and Southerners and acted that year that settled most disputes between free and slave states.
The Battle of Gettysburg was fought July 1st through 3rd of 1863 in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. The Confederates and the Union both fought each other.
This means war! Keep running! Keep running!
In the end, the Union won the battle. Come join the American Anti-Slavery Society, where we will have meetings, sign petitions, and go on lecture tours of the United States. Not only men, but women can also join these. There is a new party forming. It is called the Free Soil Party, which supports the Wilmot Proviso. So come to one of the local meetings where we will decide what we do next.
It was the year of 1799 when Dred Scott was born into slavery.
In 1804, the United States took possession of Missouri. Later, in 1820, Congress admits Missouri as a two-slave state.
The Blow family decides to move to St. Louis in 1830. Dred Scott is then sold to Dr. Emerson. Dr. Emerson later died.
Miss Emerson, I am suing you. I am tired of working as a slave for you. I was free once Dr. Emerson died and I was living in free territory.
Ha! Why, you will never win this freedom. You are a slave. You have no rights.
It is the year of 1847 when the case went to lower court.
Your Honor, I am suing the Emersons because I am free. Once Dr. Emerson died, I was living in free territory. Therefore, I shall be free.
I prove that Dred Scott is right. He deserves his freedom.
Dred Scott was free for a very short time. The Missouri Supreme Court overruled this ruling, making him no longer free.
Scott's case then reached the U.S. Supreme Court in 1857. The court had to decide whether or not Scott was a citizen. The next decision was deciding if his time living on free soil made him free. Finally, the court had to determine constitutionally of prohibiting slavery in parts of the Louisiana Purchase.
I am Roger B. Taney, and I am addressing the issue of Dred Scott's citizenship. I believe Dred Scott does not have the right to file suit in federal court. I declare the Missouri Compromise restriction on slavery north of 3630 degrees to be unconstitutional. Go.
Some did agree with Roger, but others didn't. The Supreme Court decided Dred Scott was granted his freedom in 1857. He later died in 1858. His fight was always remembered by many in the